This is Roundhouse Roundup for Tuesday, 9:21 p.m. I click the date to actually tell me the date. February 22nd. See, I'm having a stroke. See, I don't know the date. Bad times. Bad times. Bad times. I've been talking about this for a couple weeks with the hope that it actually wouldn't come true. It came true. This summer on PlayStation Network, published by Access Games, Arcana Heart 3.
Oh my god!
Yeah! So we can... Look, I'm going to get it. It's a fighting game. It's a downloaded to my hard drive. All I have to do is push a few buttons and I have a fighting game with the... She's a 6-year-old girl and she fights with her own drawings. So she draws like laser beams and they go... Pew, 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 pew. Actually, no. They haven't invented lasers in Japan yet, so she probably fights with like animals or something. But it's coming out. The big controversy is that the PlayStation version is region free, so everyone who got it already imported it, and it's not coming out on Xbox. The reason it's not coming out on Xbox, and this is pure speculation on my part, but I'm always right, is that Arcana Heart 3 is more than 2 gigabytes in size, which is the file limit on the Xbox. So they might have also cut a deal with Sony for quote-unquote exclusivity, try to get a couple bucks in there, but likely it's the file size. Now, if I'm wrong and the file size ends up being lower than 2 gigs, you're going to forget this episode happened anyway. So fuck you. Speaking of fuck you, Marvel came out and Akuma's got an infinite. Thank you, Shoryuken.com, because now the whole internet knows that Akuma has an infinite. I will now tell you the method of the infinite. Jump forward, hurricane kick. Jump forward, hurricane kick. Jump forward, hurricane kick. Apply directly to the forehead. Head on. Apply directly to the forehead. Head on. Apply directly to the forehead. It's like that. It is literally that easy. And if you thought Sentinel was bad, and it turns out Sentinel's not so bad, but this is kind of bad. It's a little hard to set up, but telling people in a fighting game that something's a little hard to set up is like dangling a piece of chocolate in front of them and saying, you can't have it. Can't have it. They'll do it. They'll find out a way. I mean, God, it is fascinating, though, to see a bunch of strategies like give birth and die this first week in the game. I'm seeing a lot of Dantes. I'm seeing a lot of Deadpools. I see a lot of Ryus and Akumas. There's a lot of bad people at this game. It's really funny. But that's not going to last forever. If you want to get your 5 ranked wins in a row, do it now, while people still think they have a chance at this game, before the hard truth of reality beats them in the face and tells them, no. Also, I do wonder where the heck the story went. Seth Killen was talking about they've written a great story, and all that happens is the endings consist of 2 pictures. And so far, Crimson Viper is now a member of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Phoenix Wright is scared of She-Hulk. I've only beaten the game with 2 people. I'm playing online. The internet. I don't know single player. Marvel's out. Big news is that the disc got hacked by... Look, I'll just be straight. Global Trance is actually a good friend of mine. Went to college with him. I've known him for about, 10 years? Damn. 10 years. About 10 years. Played a lot of Marvel together. He pioneered Team Dudes, which is Sentinel, Hulk, and who's the guy he's not in? Juggernaut. Sentinel, Hulk, and Juggernaut. They're dudes. You can also sub out Sentinel for Colossus because he's also a dude. So Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Team Dudes is Hagar, Sentinel, and the other guy, Hulk. No one plays Hulk. No one else qualifies as a dude. One time he tried to play Dante, and I said, Dante does not qualify as a dude.
That's for sure.
Now, the big news on the disc was that the content wasn't quite finished, except for once there wasn't content that was already on the disc. It was just kind of half on the disc. Go figure. The other thing they found out on the disc, and again, pure speculation on my part, but I'm always right, and I have been right about the Marvel stuff for weeks because I read leaked lists in advance and then I talk about it, is the final 2 characters for downloadable content are going to be Frank West and Dr. Octopus. Rimshot. Arcade Infinity is an arcade here in Rowland Heights in Southern California that I've been going to for about 5 years and has been open for a lot longer. It is probably the best arcade in the country to play Beat Mania and other rhythm games. It's got King of Fighters 13. It's got Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. It's got BlazBlue Continuum Shift. It's got Akatsuki Blitzkampf, which is popular with idiots. And it's closing. It's closing on Saturday the 26th. I already went this week and paid my respects because I'm going to be too busy the rest of the week to be able to go. I'm glad I went. To be honest, it was like any other day at the arcade, but I guess that's what it was about. They had Typing of the Dead, yeah. Not too many places you can see that in arcades. But I got to play Arcade Edition for the first time, and I want to report that Evil Ryu, I don't know. His Ultra takes way too long to come out. He's got a half circle forward and kick, does some kind of stompy move. I don't know. If you do it with short kick, it'll combo off of something. I'm not an expert on this. I didn't have a FAQ in front of me. And yes, I have a smartphone, but I'm not a douchebag.
Yeah, you are.
I know I'm a douchebag, sweetie. I love you. Also got to fight against an Oni whose gimmick is he can teleport in the air and then eat a dragon punch. It's spectacular. I didn't get to play as Yun and Yang because I never played Third Strike that well. I like to play as Urian. By the way, Third Strike Online, no news. Still in development. We don't know anything. Coming out. I saw a logo. Oh, and there's that leaked win pose picture. It's coming out. Swear to God. Speaking of other things that I swear to God are coming out, after Super Street Fighter 4 3D Edition launches in Japan this week, they're going to be Yoshinori Ono is going to be free to talk about something else. So he's going to talk about probably some Street Fighter versus Tekken stuff and the Street Fighter Arcade Edition downloadable content, which already has been leaked due to the achievements. And okay. So they say they're going to do the right thing about Super Street Fighter 4 for the PC. But don't forget, Yoshinori Ono's job is to troll you. So don't be surprised if they pull a swerve and nothing happens. Finally this week, there's a Marvel vs. Capcom tournament in Los Angeles.
Whoa.
What?
Give me that.
Ted, every year you run your goddamn mouth about how good you are at fighting games. Well, guess what? It's 2011. It's a new year. There's a new fighting game in town, Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And you know what? This Saturday night, Venice, Gameplay, UGTL is hosting a Marvel vs. Capcom 3 tournament where you and the rest of the world can find out how good they are. Because you know what? There's two things I know about you. Fact number one, all your freaking mains that you use in fighting games, Vega, Street Fighter, Brian, Tekken, Ash Crimson, King of Fighters, Lychee, Blaze Blue. You know what happens? Throw them in a pitcher, blend it all up. What do you get? A big fucking bowl of Fruity Pebbles, okay? Fact number two, you will not shut the fuck up about Pringles, okay? You know what happens with Pringles? You either stack up or you pop out. What are you going to do this Saturday, Ted? Are you going to pop out? Because if you pop, there's an old saying with Pringles, you know, once you pop, you just can't stop.
Well, let me tell you something. I said, let me tell you something. I get a beer in my hand and a woman in my other hand, and I can't be stopped. So you take your Pringles, you take your Fruity Pebbles, you put them all together, you eat them, and it's terrible because you just mixed fruit and salt. You put salt on an orange. Do you put salt on an orange? No, because you're deathly afraid of citrus fruit. But let me tell you something. This Saturday, Gameplay in Venice, I will represent the Pixel Drip Gallery. I will represent UGTL, and you can take that to the bank because the tadpoles are swimming upstream. Now, can you dig that?